Hello guys, myself Harish Kumar. I'm a BTech first year student of DSI branch and I'm from IIT Roorkee. Now we are going to start the code as shown in the previous slide. I'll be using the method 2 to do this code because it consists of the if statements and has the logic in it. Let's start our code with a library that is hashtag include IOStream. Here IOStream library, it just allows us to use the functionality of C input and output functions toward the code and then using namespace std which allows us it just keeps our code simple so that we need not mention std all the time before C in and C out throughout the code, and it's just convenient for our code. And then we write our main function int main, and now let's declare our variables int a b c minimum as it is. Here a b c are the values which we ask the user. We just take those values from the user as our three numbers, and minimum, this is used in our code to just generate the or just keep on updating the minimum throughout the code. We can see that in the further code. Now we ask the user for the to user to enter his three numbers, and we assign those values to a b c as I already mentioned. Now this is where the logic starts. Now I start to assume that minimum is equal to a. Let me complete the whole logic. This is the logic. Here I assume that minimum is equal to a. It need not be true, but the way it works is, let's say our minimum is a. Then the compiler reads the if statement. First if statement we in the line 15 that if b is less than minimum. We already know that a is the least amongst a, b, c. That's what we assume. So the first if statement, if condition fails and so the statement is not valid, and the compiler goes to the next if statement and it again checks that C less than minimum. We already just said now that minimum is equal to A. So C can't be less than minimum. And again, the statement is not valid. So the final output we have in our hands is minimum is equal to A. Let's just check for B. Say B is a minimum amongst A, B, C. Now in the first if condition, as we said, B is less than minimum. The condition is true. It holds. So the statement is valid and the minimum will be updated from A to B. Minimum is initially it was said that minimum is equal to a in line 13, but since the first if condition was true, minimum is updated to b from a, and the compiler checks the next if statement where c is less than minimum. As we already said, minimum is equal to b, c can't be less than minimum, and the second if statement fails, and now we have the final minimum value is b. Now the same for the c. In c, say C is the minimum amongst A, B, C, and then again at the first if statement, if B is less than minimum. Initially, minimum was A. So here B might be less than A or greater than A. So till the line 18, minimum can be A or B. It depends on A and B. But after that, in the last if statement, C is less than minimum is the condition. We already assume that C is the least. So no matter the minimum, A is either A or B, C will be definitely less than both of those, because minimum is A or B till the line 19. And so the last if statement is true and we update our minimum value from either A or B to C. And now we have minimum as C in our hands. So this is how the logic works. And we just verified it for A, B, C as three values. Now we just print it on the print it. The minimum of three numbers is minimum and L, and that's it. We return 0. Let us now check the code if it's fine or not. Let's write three numbers, say 25, 14, and 16. Yep, the minimum of three numbers is 14 and our code is working just fine. Let's try even with an exceptional case, like what if all the numbers are equal? Say 4, 4, 4. Yep, it again works. And let's try for the one last time using negative numbers. Say minus 23 and 56 minus 90. The minimum of three numbers is minus 90. It is just as we expected. And that's it, guys. This is our code and it works all fine. Thank you.